Ryan P. Wilson from Authority Effects here. Today we're going to look at the Authority Effects Glow plugin. Now let's just pull it in. And we'll do a background. And we'll make a blue background. Let's make a nice blue color here. There we go. Then we'll take a spline. Just draw it in. And set the spline to not be solid. And just tweak the border width here. And we'll get a nice line. Plug that into the glow. Merge the glow on top. Turn down the threshold. And we've got a glow. And you can't really see it, and that's because we need to put it in 2.2 space. Crank up the intensity. Now you've got a nice glow. There you go. And now it looks pretty good. But if you want to do things properly, you need to do it in linear space. So let's change this to 32-bit float. Let's add a gamma node. Let's put that down to 0.454. And we'll change our LUT back to 2.2. And then on the glow plugin, we'll set it back to linear. And that's the way it comes in by default. So if I bring one in, and merge it on here, and turn down the threshold. Now you're not getting much glow, and that's because our glow plugin is designed to be realistic. If you photograph something of that luminance, you wouldn't expect it to be glowing in the camera lens, or you'd have a pretty bad lens. So go to the color and turn up the value. Now it's over bright. Keep turning it up, and you start to get a very realistic glow. So this glow was made to be used for linear light compositing with overbright. So if you render something and you catch a reflection, let's say off an HDRI map, and the intensity is something like 5 or 10, it's going to glow properly. And the things that are, you know, around 1 or the proper white levels will not glow. And you're going to get realistic glows. So the higher you go with this, the brighter the glow gets. And it looks amazing every time. Now let's show what the controls do. You've got intensity, which we've already looked at. I always go with the default, which is 1. And essentially the way you control your glows is by how bright the object is that you're actually glowing. That makes it realistic. Sure, you can tweak this, but most times it's pretty good around 1. Now, what the glow is it's more complex than this, but we could model it as a series of glows, where you have a tiny glow and a large glow and a series of glows in between. So you have 2 controls, inner size and outer size. The bigger the inner size, the softer your glow will look. You see how it starts opening up? When you leave that at the defaults, you get a very tight glow with a nice smooth fall off. And it looks like a fluorescent light. It looks realistic. Now, diffusion and outer size control the size of the glow. So the outer size controls how far that glow spreads. The diffusion simulates atmosphere. So if you turn that down, you don't get much atmospheric interaction. If you turn it up, it looks like it's foggier. Now, the defaults on diffusion and outer size are usually pretty good. As you can see, it gives you a very realistic glow, and it looks very much like a fluorescent light. If you turn the outer size up very high, it becomes quite computationally intensive, and you may need to turn down the quality. So if we put that at 5 or even 7, you need to start pulling back the quality, because it's a very big convolution to make that happen. And let me show you what I mean. I'll put a gamma node here after the glow, and we'll just crank it up. And you'll notice that although you can't see it at proper display levels, that glow is very large. And you can see these squared off shapes. That's what the quality slider does. So when you have a low quality, it limits the size of those huge glows. And as you turn that up, it allows all of those glows to come through at their full size. Now you'll notice that looks amazing. It looks great. But when I turn down this gamma to proper display levels, you'll notice that that's completely undetectable, and you can't even see it. So if you want to know what the optimal quality would be, turn your gamma up just a little bit more than you need, and turn down the quality until you start to notice. And you'll find in almost every case that 0.5 is a number, which is why you shouldn't adjust it, just leave it at 0.5. Repeat borders is on by default, and that's very important. Let me just take the spline and drag it over here. Now repeat borders is on. That glow continues perfectly off of the frame. If I turn repeat borders off, see, now the glow just stops. And that's what most glow tools do by default. Ours by default gives you a realistic edge interaction, so you don't have any strange edge effects. So that's an overview of the Authority Effects Glow tool. We'll put more tutorials up, and we'll go over some more complex interactions. We'll show how to use it for light wrap, and we'll show how to use it for various other compositing techniques. Thank you very much.